So here are some nerves. Okay. Again, the eye and smell are the only one that has bipolar. Okay, bipolar. Light falling on the retina changes the pigment molecule, which then causes change in activity of retina. So when light comes in, again, it changes, and then it will cause an action potential. Rods, which are what? The photoreceptor for light, okay, contain rhabdosin, okay, while the cones, C for color, have 3 opsins on them, okay, sensitive to different wavelength, red, green, and blue, okay. Here's a rod cell, that's why they call it a rod, okay, and here is the cones. So here we can see that light sensitive pigments that decompose when exposed to intense light. So in the darkness, sodium channels are open when it's exposed to light, but in extreme light, it actually causes sodium channel to close, so it will not fire. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. Different photosensitive pigment, iodopsin. Remember red, green, and blue. Okay. Color result of different types of cones by different wavelengths. Combined stimulation of these different cones give us a range of colors. So there are different shapes. So here are some cones and some rods. In the lab, we'll see them. In bright light, most of the rhabdosin is decomposed, reduced sensitivity or bleaching. Cones keep functioning, and we see colors. In dim light, rhabdosin can be regenerated from opsin, and retinal require ATP. Cones are unstimulated. Things appear gray because it's not strong enough. It needs light. So when you enter a dark room, building from light, you need some time to regenerate the rhabdosins to adjust to the darkness. If you have a deficiency in vitamin A, you have night blindness. Here's a pathway. Rods and cone synapse with the bipolar sensory neuron. Okay, here are your cones and your rods. Okay, when light hits it, it will synapse with the bipolar neuron together with horizontal cell information rod. Bipolar and horizontal cell synapse in the ganglion, and it travels to the optic nerve. So iris control the light from entering. Cornea, lens, and humerus focuses the light to the retina. Retinal cells generate action potential. Okay, so we talked about this earlier already. So light comes in, okay, goes through the lens, directed by the aqueous and the vitreous humor. Okay, focus at the optic disc, and then everything is sent to through the optic nerve. Now, central processing. This is the last part of this section, but is important, and it's got quite a bit to go. Okay. Sensory pathway. How is information delivered processed? So this is what happens, okay? We're going to talk about your spinal cord and brainstem and all that. Recall sensory pathway from the neck, from below the neck, ascending pathway or tract, which is dorsal column, and spinal thalamic tract. Both region is neuron in the dorsal root ganglion. Somatosensory is from the neck. The head and neck uses the trigeminal nerve, which is nerve number 5. It goes up. Okay. We're gonna learn this, and you'll see it in a minute. Dorsal column. Where's the dorsal column? Dorsal is in the back, so you just have to dissect the word. Okay, dorsal column. So dorsal is in the back. Okay, touch and perception. Begins as axon of the dorsal root ganglion, joining the dorsal column. Okay, so again, you touch something, sensation come in, dorsal root ganglion, go to the back. Okay, from the lower level of the body and the leg, axons are medial or fasciculus gracilis. Okay, the medial part. Fasciculus gracilis. So this is extension of the nerve. Okay, that's part of the spinal column, fasciculus gracilis. From the upper level of the body, they are lateral, which is called fasciculus cuneatus. Okay, so cuneatus on the side. So if you touch something on the bottom of the foot, okay, bottom of the lower part of the body, it will go up through the fasciculus gracilis. And if you touch with the upper body, it will go through the fasciculus cuneatus. Okay, so that's all it means. Okay, so it starts from the dorsal column, okay, to the dorsal root ganglion and goes to the back. So sensation goes to the back. Okay, here is the I'm gonna go through it with you. Okay, so dorsal column, it goes up on the same level. Okay, and then it crosses in the medulla. Okay, if you look at this picture, and up to the thalamus. Right, we saw this, we know this already, kind of, and then up to the brain. Okay, so that's just the dorsal column tract. Okay, the system. This is the spinal thalamic. Spinal means spine. Thalamic is to the thalamus. So how does this one goes? Pain and temperature sensation goes right in. Okay, and then it will decussate, which means it will fire across to the other side. Okay, to the lateral spinal thalamic tract up to the brain. So when you have pain and temperature sensation, it's going to come in here, go across the other side and up to the thalamus. But when you have fine touch and proprioception, it's going to go up here, it's going to go up to the medulla and then cross over to the other side. You remember our left brain controls the right brain controls the left side of the body. So that's how it goes. Okay, fine touch and proprioception goes, it will cross at the medulla, and then pain and temperature will cross at the same segment and then directly up. So terminate in the medulla. Okay, medulla for these two. Okay, and then it will end in the thalamus. Spinal thalamic tract, we saw this earlier. From the dorsal horn, where's the dorsal horn? In the back as well. Okay, where the body and the neuron, the axon, will ascend to the thalamus. From the thalamus will connect to the postcentral gyrus. So it's going to decussate, same level, across, directly up to the thalamus. Taste and hearing pathway. We saw this earlier. Taste and hearing, well, taste first, comes from the facial nerve and glossopharyngeal nerve. Okay, which goes directly to the thalamus and then to the cortex. Auditory, saw this as well. Vestibular is your balancing part. Cochlear is your hearing part, which then will synapse in the medulla. combined with sound from each ear, and continue to the inferior colliculi. You remember, superior colliculi is for visual, inferior colliculi is for hearing in the midbrain. Okay, and then it goes up to the thalamus, and then it goes wherever, well, goes to the temporal lobe and then goes out to, whether memory or whatever. Superior colliculi is from the visual part, where you turn your head to the sound. Vestibular hearing is vestibular nerve synapse with the medulla, while some goes directly to the cerebellum. Okay, so this is your balancing part. Remember, the vestibular is your balancing part, and your cerebellum helps with the balancing in the brain. Visual pathway, optic nerve connected at the optic chiasm. Remember, the optic chiasm is right here. Okay, so things goes there, connect there, and goes to the opposite side. Optic tracts connect the thalamus. We saw the superior colliculi. Okay. So this is called the homunculus. This is where, where you have more, like your hand is very sensitive, so you have more sensitive area. This is how they map out the brain. Okay, called the homunculus. So they did an experiment one time where a guy was wearing a goggle that is flipped over. Okay, so up is down and down is up. And then after a while, his brain actually adapted. So it rewired everything. And then when he took it off, he wasn't used to it, and he had to readjust again. Okay. Information is inverted and reverse. Okay. That's all you need to know here. While we maintain specific region, our experience based on perception is continuous. So, motor response. We saw sensation response when we have fine touch, goes through the dorsal column, and spinal thalamic tract is for pain and temperature. It goes up the brain. So that's the sensation part. Now we need to learn the motor part. What happened after you touch something or you feel something? There's a response that needs to come down. Okay. So these two are the ascending tract. It goes upward, right? Ascending means up.